Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Imaginary Engineering. This is Kirti. Today in this video we are going to build amazing React application anime app in React. Creating this small project like this really helps us to learn any language more quickly. So I request you watch this video till the end. So we start here. We can see the one search bar. Here we can search. If I search on Naruto, here it display the list of anime. And if I click on any anime, then it show the information regarding that anime. Here we can see the rank, its score, popularity, members, source, duration, status and rating. Then here we add the overlay effect. It show the synopsis and Japanese title. User can also make their own anime list. Just click on the overlay add to list and add the anime to the list. Here I add this anime to the my list. Also we can remove the any anime from the list. If you are new user on my channel, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Here I have already created the app. You can create it using the below command npx create react app, your application name. You can use the npm also. Npm, npx both are fine, but it's recommended to use the npx because it's avoid installing the unnecessary packages. So it's always better to use the npx. So here under this public folder we have the index.html file. And inside this src folder we have the app.js. Then we start with this app.js file. First we create the function. Inside this function we make the API request to fetch our data. Here we create a function const get data. We make it function async. Then we create a variable response to store the response. Const response equal to, here we use the fetch API, await fetch. Inside this parenthesis we pass our URL. We use the jikan API. We go to the jikan API. Now here is one search box. Here we can search any anime. If I search anime, then here we received one requesting URL. Now we simply copy this URL and go back to our Visual Studio and paste it here. At the end of the URL we can set the limit. So here we replace this last part and set the limit equal to 20. Now here we convert that response into the JSON. So we create a variable response data and we store the response.json. Await. Now we check it on console.log. Now we call this getData function inside the useEffect. So here we use the useEffect. It always run when the component is render. It take a two argument. First is a function and second is dependency. Here I have passed the empty array as a second argument. It means that useEffect will be run only once when the first time page is loaded. Now we call the getData function. Now we run this app using the command npm start. Here I go to the inspect and then console. Here we receive the data. Here we have the data attribute. So we check response data.data. Now we again refresh the page and go to our console and check. Here we receive the array of 20 elements. Now we create a new state variable to hold our response. So we create const anime data, set anime data function equal to useState. Since we are using the useState, so it's needed to import the useState. Here we import useEffect and useState from React. This anime data is actually initial state, and this set anime data is a function which is used to update this state variable anime data. Now we call this set anime data and pass our response. Now if we save and go to our components, here we click on this app. Here we receive this data. Here we can see under this state we receive this data. If you don't know about this is a React developer tool. You can install this React developer tool by clicking on add to Chrome. Here it's showing me remove from Chrome because I already installed. So we go back to our Visual Studio. First we create a header. So here we add a one div for header. Then inside this div we add a heading tag for my anime list heading. Then we add another div for search box, div.className search box. Then inside this div we add one input tag, replace the type with search. Then we add a placeholder, search your anime. Then we save it and check. Here we can see text and input. Now we add some styling. So we go to our src folder, we create a components folder. Now inside this components folder we add a style.css file we create. Now we make the padding and margin 0. So we add a padding will be 0 and margin will be 0. Now we add font style. So we go to our font, Google font, and choose the font. Now we select the font style. Select this and go to the import and copy this URL and paste it in our style.css file. Now copy this font family and paste it here. Now here first we import our style.css file in app.js. So import and path style.css. Now we go to our style.css and add a styling for body, add a background color. We add a styling for this heading. Now copy and paste it here. We set the width will be 100%. Then add a height, it will be 80 pixel. Then we add some background color. Here we can see. Now we add a display, it will be flex. Now we want a space between the two divs, so we add a justify content, it will be space around. Now we want it to be a vertically center, so we make the align item center. Now we add a position, it will be fixed, top 0. Then we add a color white, Z index, it will be 12. Here we can see. If you want to skip this CSS part, you can skip it. Then we add a styling for search box. Here we add a outline, it will be none, border will be none, then width 350 pixel, then height will be 30 pixel. Then we add some font size 1.2 rem, then we add a padding. Here we can search. Now we go back to our Visual Studio, go to our app.js. Here we create a new state variable to hold our search text. So we create const search. function set search equal to useState parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis we can pass the initial state value. Here I have passed the Naruto. So if I go back and go to the inspect, then go to our component apps, then here we can see our initial state was Naruto. Now inside this input tag we add a event on change, add a parenthesis, fat arrow function. Now we call our set search function and pass the search text. Here we pass e.target.value which return the user text. Now inside that URL we replace that query with user search, pass the search. Now inside this array we pass the search. Whenever that search value is changed, that useEffect will be run. Now here if I refresh, inside this state we have received this data. Here we can see the title is Naruto. Then we go back to our Visual Code. Here we create another component animelist.js. I have installed one React extension. I will show you. Go to the extension in React and search for React. Here is our extension, React Native. You can install it if you want. We write a prefix RAFC, React Arrow Function component. It automatically create a code for us. Here you can see import React from React. Then we create a function animelist. Now we create a one div.container. Inside this div we create another div.animeinfo. Then we create a div.animeRow. Inside this div we create another div.row. Now we add our import animelist component, import animelist from component. Here we add our animelist component. Now we add some styling for this container part. So we copy this and go to our style.css file. Here we paste it, add a width, it will be 100%. Then we add some margin, top bottom 100 pixel and left right auto. Display will be flex. Now we add a styling for this anime info. Width will be 320 pixel. Height will be 100%. Then add some background color. Position will be fixed. Then left 0, top 0. Z index will be 11. Then we add styling for this anime row. Display will be flex direction column. Now we add a styling for this row. Display will be inline flex. Add some gap will be 20 pixel. Then margin left 20 rem. Then here we add a h2 tag for text heading. Then we add a styling for this text heading. Margin left will be 20 rem. Then we add margin top 1 rem. Now we go to our anime list component. Now in this component, first we create an anime card. We add one div class name card. Inside this we add a image tag. Now we copy the image path from the data which we have received. Inside this image we have the large image URL. We copy this URL and paste it here. Now we provide an alternative image name in case if that image is missing. Now we add another div anime info. Inside this we add a h4 tag for title. Here I have write a title Naruto. Then we save it. Here we can see the image and title. Now we add some styling for this card. Add a width, it will be 230 pixel, then height will be 300 pixel, then we add some padding. Then box shadow 5 pixel RGB color. Now we add a text align center, overflow hidden, position will be relative. Then we add a styling for this image. Width will be 100% and height will be 80%. Now here we can see it looks nice. Now we go back to our app.js. Now here this anime data, we pass this anime data to the anime list component. So here we pass anime list equal to anime data. Now we go to our anime list component. We use the destructuring to receive the anime list data. We add some JavaScript here. So first we check if that anime list contain data or not. If it is contain the data, then we simply return our div card. Here we use the map to iterate over an array. We pass the argument anime that represent the each element in the array and index. If that anime list is empty, then we show not found. We simply copy this and paste inside the return. Now we save it, and here we can see all the cards are displayed. Now we change this image path. We replace this src anime.images.jpg. Here we have the large image URL attribute. Now we replace this title anime dot. Here we have the title attribute. We copy this and paste it here. If we save and check, here we can see all the images and its titles are displayed. Next we want, when we clicked on any anime card, its information should be displayed. So we go back to our Visual Studio. First we create another component. Let's call it animeinfo.js. React arrow function component. Here we create our anime info component. Here we add one h1 tag and insert some random text. Now we go back to our app.js. Create a new state variable anime info that hold the information about the anime. Set anime info function equal to useState. Now we pass that anime info to our anime list component. Here we pass set anime info equal to set anime info. Now we save it and go to our anime list component. Destructuring our set anime info so we can use it. Inside this card div, we add a key, index, Now we add a on-click event. When we clicked on any enemy card, we call the setAnimeInfo function. Inside this parenthesis, we pass the enemy information. Now we save it and go back to our app.js component. First we need to check if that enemy info variable contains the data or not. If it is not empty, then only we display our enemy info component. We use the AND operation. Then we called our enemy info component. First we need to import that enemy info in our app.js. So here we import enemy info. Here we use the AND operation. If the first part is true, then only that second part will be checked and displayed. Now we save it and go back. Here we can see initially this state variable is undefined. As soon as I clicked on card, here we receive the data. Here we can see we receive the all information about that enemy. Now we pass enemy information to the enemy info component equal to enemy info. We save it and go to our enemy info component. Remove this line. Add a props. Here we receive this data: title, type, status, duration, episode, rank, popularity. We need all this data. So here we use the object destructuring to receive that data: title, then we have the source, rank, score. Here we have the popularity, members, status, rating, duration equal to props.animeinfo. Then here we add a div anime content. Inside this div we display the title. We add a h3 tag for title. Then we add a image tag for image path. Here we have the images attribute. Inside this we have the large image URL. So here props.animeinfo.image.jpg.large image URL. Now we save and check. If I click, this image is too big, so we add some styling for this anime content. Add a padding, it will be 40 pixel, then margin 80 pixel. Then we add a styling for the image. Width will be 150 pixel. Now we save and check. Here it looks nice. Now we go back to our code and we add rest of the things. So we create a div info. Inside this div we add a h3 tag for rank. We copy this and paste it. Now we replace it with score. Then we show popularity. Then we add one HR tag. Now here we can see rank, score, popularity. Now we add a rest of the things. We add a h4 tag for members. Then we simply copy this and paste it. Now we replace the members with source. Then for duration, then we have the status, and the last one is a rating. Now we save this. Here we can see all the information about the anime: member, source, duration, status. When we clicked on any anime, its information display at the left hand side. Here in the SRC we add a long path, so instead of this we can do the image destructuring. So here we add images. If we check here, inside these images we have the JPG. So we add a colon, curly braces, JPG, and again inside this JPG we have the large image URL. So we copy this colon, then curly braces, and we paste it here. Now we removing these things and only keep the large image URL. It's still working fine. Now our next task is we add this overlay effect. Here we can see the Japanese title of anime and synopsis. Now we go back. We go to our anime list component. Here we add a div for overlay. Now we add a styling for this overlay. Position, it will be absolute, bottom will be 0, and width is 100%, height will be 100%. Then we add some padding, it will be 1 rem. Then we add some background color, RGBA. Then we add a border radius. Text align will be justify. Now here if we check, here we can see overlay is added over the card. Now if we go back, change the height, it will be 0, and add a opacity, it will be 0. Now if we save, here we can see overlay effect is hide. Now here we have the anime info div. When user move the mouse over this anime info div, overlay effect will be displayed. So we make the opacity will be 1 and height will be 90%. We need to add some transition. 0.5 second. Now here we can see it works well. We go back to our code, go to our anime list component. Here we add h4 tag to display the anime title in Japanese. Anime dot. Here we have the attribute title underscore Japanese. We copy this and paste it here. Then we add a div for synopsis. Inside this we add a paragraph tag for synopsis. Anime dot. Here we have the synopsis attribute. We copy this and paste it. Now we add some styling for this synopsis. Width will be 80%. Then we add a height, it will be 50%. Then we add some margin, top bottom 0 and left right auto. Then we add some padding, it will be 1 rem. Overflow will be auto. Now here we can see, but synopsis title is missing. We go back to our anime list component and here we add h3 tag for synopsis. Now here we can see the synopsis and title So our next task is user can make their own anime list. By clicking on the overlay, user can add the anime to their list. Now we go back. First we create a new component, add to list.js. Here we create a add to list component. Then we add a div my list. Then we add a paragraph tag, add a text, add to list. Then we add some styling for this my list. Then we add position, it will be absolute, bottom 20 pixel, right 50 pixel. Then we add some padding 0.5 rem. Then we add some background color. Font size, it will be 1 rem. Font weight bold. Now we save it. We import our add to list component in app.js. Component is nothing but the function, so we can pass it to the anime list, anime component equal to, here we pass that add to list. We save it and go to our anime list, destructuring our anime component. Here we create a variable add to list and assign anime component. Below this div we add our component add to list. Now we save it. Here we can see our add to list is displayed. Now next we want, when we click on this add to list, that anime should be added to our my list. So we go to our app.js. Here we create a new state variable to hold user anime list data. We create a variable my anime list. Function set my anime list equal to useState. Initially we pass the empty array. Now we create a function add to equal to parenthesis fat arrow function. This function receives the anime which is user selected. Then we create a variable new array equal to, first we copy the current array of my anime list. Then we add new anime. Now we call the function set my anime list and pass this new array, so it will update our my anime list. Now this add to function we pass to our anime list component handle list equal to, we call the function add to, we receive that anime and pass it to our function add to function. Now we save it and go to our anime list component. Here we destructuring our handle list so we can use it. Inside this overlay div we add a on click event and we call that handle list function. Inside this parenthesis we pass the anime. Here we receive the anime which is user selected and then we pass it to the add to function. Inside this add to function, we create a new array. First we copy our myAnimeList and add the new array. Call the setAnimeList function and pass the new array. Now if we go to the inspect, then go to our component. Here initially state hold the empty array. Now if I click on any anime, this state is updated, that anime info added to the array. Here you can see simply we copy this text heading and div and paste it here. We replace this text my list, then we instead of anime data, here we pass my anime list. Now we save it, and here we can see the user selected anime is displayed in my list. Now next we want to add this remove feature, so user can remove the anime from their list. Here we can see add to list right now. Now we go to our studio. First we create a new component. Let's call it remove from list.js. React arrow function component. Here we remove this. Go to our add.list. We copy this and paste it here. We instead of this we write remove from list. Now we save it. Go back to our app.js. First we import our remove from list component. Now instead of this add to list, here we pass component to remove from list. Now we save it. Here we can see the remove from list is displayed. Now we create a function that remove the anime from the list. Const remove from equal to parenthesis, we pass the anime which is selected by the user. We create a new array equal to myAnimeList.filter. We use the filter method to filter our array based on the condition that we provided. We pass the one function which return myAnime dot each anime has the unique ID. Here we can see if that ID doesn't match with the anime ID which is provided by the user, then we return that element. Now we call our set myAnimeList function and we pass our new array. Basically here we check if that ID does not match with the anime ID which is chosen by the user to remove, then we return that element and create a new array. Now here instead of this add to function, we pass our remove from function. Now we save it. Here we can see if I click on the remove from, it anime remove from the list. But here is one issue. If I add this anime to the list and again if I try to add the same anime to the list, it's still added to the list. So before we add any anime to the list, first we check if it is already present in the list or not. So inside this add to function, we create a variable index equal to myAnimeList.findIndex. That findIndex method return the index of the first element of the array that passed the test. Otherwise it return the -1 if there is no element that passed the test. Here we pass the one function which returned condition myAnime.id equal to anime.id. If this condition is satisfied, then it will return the index, otherwise it will return the -1. it means that anime is not present in the list. So here we check if index is less than 0, it means that anime is not present in the list and we can add that anime to the list. So we copy these two lines and paste inside our if block. First we copy our my anime list and add our new anime, and we call this set anime list function and pass the new array. Here if I refresh and add this anime, and again if I try to add the same anime to the list, it's not added. So now our app is working properly. So this is the end of our tutorial. I hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.